everyone, it's Cindy here from Hooked on Crafts. Today I'm participating in a DIY Christmas giveaway hop where I'm going to show you how to make a fast and easy crochet earwarmer that would make the perfect DIY Christmas gift. Each person along this hop will be giving away their creation. My giveaway will be open to US residents only. To enter, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below on which color of earwarmer you would like to win. Okay, to begin this project, we are going to be using Lion's brand Wool Ease yarn. It's a number 4 worsted weight yarn to keep you really warm in the wintertime. A size H crochet hook or 5mm. And to begin this project, we're just going to put a slip knot into the beginning of our yarn, and we are going to chain 15. So 15 single crochets as our base. When you get to the end, we are going to single crochet again into the second chain from your hook. So that will make your work be 14 stitches across all the way throughout this project. So you're just going to single crochet all the way to the end of your row here. If you would like to have a wider earwarmer, you could start possibly with 17 stitches instead of the 15, or if you wanted a narrow earwarmer, you could do 13 instead of 15. So adjust the size to whatever you would like, but I think 15 is a perfect size. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. And next for this row 2, we are going to double crochet into every stitch across. So we are counting the chain 2 as our first stitch. So you will have 13 double crochets all the way through to the end of this row. Now I have sped this up quite a bit because these are pretty basic stitches and anyone who's crocheted knows how to do them. If you're just a beginner and you need me to go slower, click the little buttons up at the top and slow down the speed of this video, and it would be much easier for you to follow along. When you get to the last stitch here, you are going to chain 1 and turn your work. So now for row 3, we are just going to do single crochets all the way back through this row. Now I'm going to be using the Alpine stitch to create this head warmer. So if you've done that stitch before, this will be super easy for you. If you haven't, just stay with me here. It works up really easily, and once you get the hang of it, it goes really quick. So again, we're just single crocheting all the way through to the end. I love to make homemade gifts for my friends and family throughout the year, so I think this is perfect. When you get to the end, you're going to chain 2 and turn. So this is where we're going to start our pattern for the headband. And so for the first stitch, you're going to yarn over. You're going to go into this second double crochet stitch here, and you're going to do a front post double crochet. You're going to skip one of the single crochets from the previous row, and then you're going to double crochet into that single stitch. And then for the next one, you are going to yarn over, and you're going to skip one of the double crochets, and you're going to go into the next double crochet. So every other double crochet and every other single crochet stitch. So you're working in 2 rows here. So you'll do one of the front posts from one row, and then you'll do a double crochet into the single crochet. And here I'm showing you the back of my work so you can see the little squares where I've skipped the single crochet stitch from the previous row. And if you get confused, the very beginning is the hardest part. Once you get going, you'll be able to tell what your pattern is. So just kind of turn your work to the back and just look to make sure that you've skipped that one single crochet. So a front post double crochet into the double crochet from the row below, and then a double crochet into the single crochet. And again, just turn your work to the back to make sure that you've skipped that one single crochet. And once you get these first couple rows of this pattern, it's really simple to figure out which one you're using. It's just at the beginning it's a little difficult. So front post double crochet, you're skipping one single crochet, and then you're double crocheting into the next. And when I get to the last stitch, guys, I am just going to front post double crochet around that last stitch. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And now you can definitely see there's a front and a back, right? The back is going to be very flat. It sits on your head really nicely. And then the front part has your pattern. For this row, we're just going to single crochet all the way along this row. And you will do the single crochets along the back side throughout this pattern. So that makes it super simple to know which is the front and which is the back. So once you get to the back, you're just doing single crochets. You're only doing your pattern in the front right side part of your work. You guys check out the description box below to see who's next on this DIY Christmas giveaway hop. I'm sure they'll have a ton of great DIY Christmas gift ideas throughout this hop. So again, make sure you get your last stitch and you single crochet into that last stitch there. And then you are going to chain 2 and turn your work. And this is the second set of our pattern. So this whole pattern is really going to be a 4-row repeat. So we had front post double crocheted in the row below first. So on this row, we are just going to do a double crochet into that very first stitch there, into the single chain. And then on the next one, we're going to do the front post double crochet, and we're going to grab kind of the one that's tucked in back, because that's the one we didn't get the last time. So it's kind of just an alternating pattern throughout, right? So then you can see where the one is tucked in next. So then we're just going to do a double crochet into the top single crochet row here right in front of the one that's tucked back. And again, just getting started is the hard part. Once you get this first pattern, you'll be good. Then you're going to yarn over and front post double crochet into that next double crochet that was tucked back. And make sure, you can see I almost went into the wrong stitch there. So just kind of turn your work to the back to look to see where you need to put your next double crochet into the single crochet. And make sure you're skipping one across the back. And then you're going to yarn over and front post double crochet. And then you're just going to do a double crochet into the next single crochet stitch. Yarn over, front post double crochet. Again, you're grabbing the ones that are tucked back. You're skipping one stitch on the top here, and you're doing every other. So it's really every other front post double crochet and every other double crochet into the single stitch. So that's your pattern you work throughout this whole project. And you just kind of got it. Once you get the pattern going, you don't really have to think about it as much. And then you're just going to double crochet right there into that last stitch. You're going to chain 1. That's what your pattern looks like here. Now you can see how we've done the every other. Chain 1 and turn your work. Okay, so we're on the back side again. So on the back side, you are always going to just do 1 row of single crochets. So I'm going to speed this up quite a bit here now, and we're just going to continue to work that same pattern throughout. So single crochet all the way to the end, 14 stitches across. Your first one counts as a stitch. So there's what it looks like. And then you're just going to continue that same pattern of front post double crochet and then double crochet into the next stitch here. And it's going to be that same pattern that we just worked. And again, you're going to be doing the front post double crochet on the one that's tucked in from the row before. So that makes it real easy to tell what your pattern is. And you're just going to work your way across. Now, I'm going to be making my headband 17 inches long. So you're just going to keep working this pattern on and on until your project is 17 inches long. And you'll see me measure that here in a little bit. So this is really easy to sit and crochet as you're watching TV or doing anything like that. And I've sped these other rows up quite a bit. Now you can see I'm back to the back again. So you're going to do single crochets. Always single crochets in the back, and then you work your pattern in the front part of your project, on the right side of your project, I should say. So just continue to single chain all the way across to the end of this row. So make sure you leave me a comment below on which color that you would like to win of this. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you several different colors that I made. So again, this is where we're working our pattern. So make sure you're starting in the right section. You see I made a mistake here. So just, feel free to take it out and take your time when you're starting these rows. So this first one was a double crochet, and then you're going to do the front post double crochet, and you're just going to create you repeat this pattern throughout your project again. Now, I chose 17 inches for my pattern because a normal adult size head is about 21 to 22 inches. And this is going to be stretchy, and you want it to fit kind of snug around their ears so their ears stay nice and warm. So you're just going to continue to make this pattern throughout, alternating your front post double crochets from the row below, and this just doing a double crochet. And you can see here how the pattern is starting to take shape. And it's a very easy pattern, but it looks spectacular. It looks like you put a lot more work into it than you really did. And I love these type of patterns. I think this is a great ear warmer to have for Christmas. So you're here again, you can see the front and the back, right guys? And I am going to measure it. And again, I want mine to be 17 inches, so I have a little bit further to go. So I'm just going to continue on doing that same pattern. So as you start to get longer, stop and measure your work, because you don't want your headband to get too big. Otherwise, it'll just be loose and it won't stay on their head right. And what's the point of making something that someone can't wear? So you want to make it very wearable. So take the time and measure it when you get close. And if you get too many rows, don't be afraid to take some out so that you get the right size. So this is the back side of my work, and you can see I'm just working the single crochets all the way across. And then I'm just going to continue on with my pattern a little bit longer until I get my work to be 17 inches. So front post double crochet, and then you're going to double crochet into the single crochet row. So again, you're always working in 2 different rows here, back and forth. And then once you get it to measure your 17 inches, we're ready to stop and go on. And this is where the magic kind of happens for the twist part in the front. So just go ahead and finish off your work by running your yarn through your stitch to tie it off. And make sure you leave yourself a really long tail, because that's what you're going to use to sew this up. So right here, you're going to start with your work, the right side facing you, and then you're going to fold it over just like I'm showing you here. And just kind of, you're going to sandwich these then in between each other, just the way I'm showing you, and kind of keep your tails out so you can weave those in later. And then you're just going to use your long yarn tail, and you're going to sew through all 4 layers of your headband here. So just back and forth, just a simple stitch. Now I did do mine twice. I went forward and backwards because this is going to be taking a lot of wear here. So you want to make sure these stitches are really secure and snug. So make sure you're getting all 4 layers throughout your sewing here, back and forth, because this is going to be the twist part and it's going to be the part in front. So you want it to look really nice and really finished there. So try to be as neat as possible. And again, like I said, I did mine front and back twice. So you'll see here as I'm sewing it up, I'm just going to run it through both ways to make sure that it's nice and secure, because I don't want my headband to fall apart on somebody. So I'm going to speed this part up. I'm just running it back through the same exact way. And once you get done, then you're going to finish it off, and you are going to weave in the ends of the yarn, the loose yarn on the back here. And you want this to look really tidy. So cut your yarn off and weave in the tails, both the starting one and the finishing one. And try to be nice and neat, but it's pretty forgiving because you got a lot going on here. So just get it tucked into these stitches so it doesn't come apart, and snip it off. And then this is where you're going to twist your work, and voila, that is the magical twist at the end. Didn't that turn out great, guys? I think it looks wonderful. Okay, so this is what my yellow one looks like, and you can see it was super stretchy there. I think these turned out great. I also made one using the Lion Brand landscape yarn, and this one is my absolute favorite. I love it. I made a black one, and this one's a little bit thinner, narrower, I should say. And then I also made a burgundy one, guys. Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know which one you would like to win. And don't forget to stop by to the next person in the description below and see what they're making for the DIY Christmas gift giveaway hop. Have a great day, guys.